Well, if you're on Medicare, approaching the age to get Medicaid, or if you're already on Medicaid, there might be some changes coming up at the end of the year or the first of next year. Actually, there are. And that's why we call in Gary Smith, a professional, always talking about that. How you doing, Gary?
Doing good.
Well, good.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's good to have you on the show because I know people, this is an education point for them.
Yes, it is.
If they're on Medicare, but they by the first of the year they'll be eligible for Medicaid or any of the supplements. There's so many different things that they can do. So let's go ahead and talk about those things, and the time is coming to get signed up.
It is. I'm lucky and fortunate you have me in here every year. We get to come in here and tell everybody on the Gulf Coast what's new and the changes that are happening for 2025 or for each coming year. And this year we have, the government has passed some new rules that is going to limit the out-of-pocket expenses for people's drugs. And
that's
everybody,
a good thing.
Everybody knows the drug cost for seniors has been a huge Achilles heel.
Right.
Obviously, the bulk of the population doesn't spend, a ton of money on drugs, but you also have 25–30% of the population that does have huge drug problems.
Well, the older that we get, because I'm in that category, the older that we get, more medications that we need to keep us going.
And we all see the cost of drugs, right?
Right, exactly.
I mean, there's, as I tell everybody, your generics are running you $10–15, right? But then these name brand drugs that are being advertised on TV, one of the things we always kind of laugh about in our office when we're talking to people, if you see that drug being advertised on TV, it's going to run $500 to $800 a month.
Wow.
Why? Well, they got to pay for the cost of the advertising. Well, that cost, reflects in your copay. So you're not going to pay a $20 copay for $800 a month medication. And we all know that doesn't make sense, right?
No.
I mean, that math does not work. So sadly, the copay for a medication of that type is typically somewhere around 20 to 25, 30%, which can get very expensive for them. And so Congress passed a new law that's going to limit the out-of-pocket to $2,000 for next year.
For the whole year?
For the whole year.
Oh, wow, that's good.
So it is going to give people some serious relief, on the cost of their medication. But with everything that the government does, as you well know, if you make 65, 70 years of age, let's be honest, people, you're not stupid. I mean, so people understand this, that if the cost of medication is going to go from your max out of pocket is going to go from $4,000 down to $2,000 of maximum out of pocket, the cost of the drug plans are going to do what? Go up.
Yeah.
So the days of being able to come in and buy a drug plan for $5, $10, $15 are now sadly over. So there's going to be a little give and take there. For those people who are taking a lot of high-dollar medication, yes, the good news is you're going to be limited to $2,000 a month. The bad news is I don't believe those drug plans are going to cost $15. Now, they haven't released the cost of these cost of the plans, but we're hearing that they're all going to be on average $50, $70, $100 a month. So don't let me scare you all that, because again, the costs have not been released just yet. And when they do, obviously you'll have those costs available to you, and they'll start releasing that data in October. But I would tell everybody out there to get prepared for some pretty substantial increases in your drug plan.
Okay, so it's going to be kind of a good thing.
Good thing.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I think it will be very positive for most everybody.
And there's different plans out there.
There are. So one of the things we did, we had a glimpse at one plan, and they are having the top tier plan, which is going to be, I think it was like $90-something, and they had a mid-tier plan that was somewhere around $40. So for people who are not taking a lot of medication, that $40 plan is going to be very attractive to them.
Right.
It's still going to have that max out of pocket of $2,000 probably, but the list of covered drugs will be different. It'll be geared towards people taking more generics. versus
Right.
expensive name brands. And then if you're taking a lot of expensive name brands, then you're going to have to jump up and probably spend $70, $80, $90 a month for a drug plan. Hopefully they can afford that. That's the next issue. People who've been paying $10, $15 a month for a drug plan, and now their drug price is sneaking up to $80, $90 a month, and then they also have a supplement that's running them $150, $200 a month. Where do they get relief? So that's going to be a huge concern I think for a great many people here on the Gulf Coast. And so the option may be, and I know a lot of people out here probably have been reluctant to look at them, but the option may be a Medicare Advantage plan.
Right.
Because a lot of the Advantage plans are zero premium, $20, $30, $40 premiums. And so that may provide these people with some relief. And I would definitely say, don't believe all the myths about the Medicare Advantage plans, about how you lose your Medicare if you sign up, because we know you don't lose your Medicare if you sign up.
Right.
Don't overlook them. If you feel like your cost of the supplement and the drug plans are probably more than you can afford, then you need to take a look at a Medicare Advantage plan.
And that's one of the important things that we always try to press upon people whenever they're trying to decide. There's so many different plans out there. You calling that toll-free number on TV, for one thing, you're probably not going to talk to the same person every time that you call.
We'll never be able to speak to the same person.
Never. One day they're going to be in Connecticut. One day the next day they're going to be in Timbuktu. So who knows? But the great thing about talking to Gary and the great folks at the Gary Smith Agency in Pascagoula, it's always the same person, because
that's right.
It's always the same person that I talk to all the time, and whenever I have a question or anything. So and then the time to decide on the plan that you want, it's important that you sit down and look at all your different options.
It is, because there are a lot of options. I mean, here in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, we have over 100 different plans.
Wow.
I mean, we represent 10 companies with over 100 different plans. There's probably a little bit more than that out there. How are you going to navigate that? How much training do you have on that? I mean, we go through hours and hours and hours of training. Every single September, our training starts in August.
Yeah.
And it's more than someone who's not trained. It's way more than you can handle.
Definitely. Gary, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for being on the show and
yes, sir.
Educating our viewers out there that whenever you're having time to make those changes or anything, or be aware of the new changes coming up, be sure you set up an appointment, give them a call, and go see Gary Smith and the Gary Smith Agency located in Pascagoula.